Torrance is definitely building a reputation as a green city. Environmentally friendly companies are choosing to do business here, and residents are using alternative energy sources for their homes and cars. The city's transit department is also rolling down the green road with their new buses. Reporter Leslie Lopez tells us more.
Torrance's past has transitioned into a green future. With its new bus line, it is turning heads, and it's more than just a green makeover.
It has a nice clean feel about it. You know the smell of a new car when you get in a new car. It has that feel about it.
Green and clean, a concerted effort by the Torrance Transit Department. The city is making an eco-friendly transition and providing its passengers added benefits along the way.
One of the things that we've been hearing from a lot of the folks who have ridden on our bus is, how quiet that bus is and how smooth the bus is.
It's a vehicle somewhat sort of like you would see your Toyota Prius out there. It works in the same way that the smaller vehicle does.
The city is attempting to replace all of its 52 diesel power buses to hybrid gasoline and electric vehicles by 2015. It's an ambitious undertaking piled high with positive benefits.
Beginning in June, we put 10 hybrid gasoline electric buses on the road. We were fortunate enough to receive part of the stimulus package of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act.
The stimulus money provided by the government helped launch the Green Bus Line project, which started to service passengers in June of 2010. The city received $4.5 million to purchase the initial 7 buses and 3 more with taxpayer money. The remaining future purchases will cost $35 million, which has already been set aside.
We just recently at City Council on June 15th placed another order for an additional 12 buses. At that point, we will have a total of 22 buses of our 52.
In addition to being green, the new fleet has other details worth mentioning. Transit Fleet Services Manager Art Estrada explains these new upgrades.
It's a low-floor vehicle. This vehicle has a 2-stage kneeling system, which makes it very accessible for our elderly ridership. They can board the bus just like if they were walking right off the sidewalk.
The new buses are also equipped with ergonomic seating for comfort, extra straps for passenger safety, touchless rear doors that automatically open, window liners for graffiti prevention, and roomier seating for disabled passengers.
The wheelchair area for our disabled patrons is a lot roomier. They can maneuver and they're a lot easier. There's some new features in the tie downs and the passenger signal that they are going to be using to request or stop.
Not only were there many meetings and months of planning just for the interior design of the new buses, but the exterior graphics also took months of preparation.
Our graphics are designed with the green theme behind it. We are utilizing the city's colors throughout the vehicle, and you know, it's telling the public, hey, look at us. We got a new vehicle for you to ride, for you to enjoy, more comfortable.
The new Green Bus Line is making its mark in Torrance. With better gas mileage and less dependency on fossil fuel, the Torrance community has taken a proactive step in creating a greener future. For CitiCABLE 3, I'm Leslie Lopez.
Over the next 5 years, the city will continue to introduce green buses to their fleet until all 52 buses are hybrid vehicles. For more information on the city's transit system, visit TorranceCA.Gov.
Water is a hot commodity in Southern California, especially when temperatures rise. But for many of us, saving money on utilities is sometimes more important than conservation. Reporter Leslie Lopez tells us how we can do both this summer.
What if you could cut some utility bills in half every month? The city of Torrance has been educating people on ways in which they can save, all while having an eco-friendly plan at its core.
What we really have is a long-term water shortage situation, and that's throughout California, throughout most of the Southwest, actually.
Chuck Scheich, an official at the Torrance Municipal Water Department, is explaining California's water shortage. Over the past 4 years, the state has seen a slump in its water reserve levels, and here in Torrance, Scheich and others have been working actively in teaching residents ways to save water and money.
About 40% of the water used by the average household is outside.
Most of that water, in fact, more than 50% of that water is actually overused. We're using too much water in our landscapes, too much water washing the cars.
Oftentimes, residents underestimate the amount of water they are wasting in and outside their homes. And to change that, Scheich is teaching homeowners ways of using less water through minor lifestyle adjustments.
You don't want to water between the hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's number one. But many studies done in Southern California, and oftentimes people water by twice the amount of water their plants actually need in their lawns.
If you don't have an irrigation system right now and you're just using a hose, simply by putting in this, using a pistol grip hose end or one of these timers, you can save half the water, 50% of the water that you're using right now.
Other inexpensive ways to save money and a lot of water outdoors is to use drip irrigation throughout your shrub beds. A typical sprinkler head will emit 4 gallons of water per minute versus 1 gallon with the new system.
And in order to learn how to save inside the home, we went to the bathroom store where we learned about some high-efficiency products.
Older shower head will use about 4 gallons of water per minute. Some of the newer shower heads will use 1.5 gallons of water per minute. So you figure the average person takes about a 10-minute shower. That's a 25 gallons per savings right there. 4 or 5 people in the household, that's 100, 125 gallons per day of water that you can be saving.
And just by switching to water-efficient shower heads and toilets alone, you can cut down nearly 2/3 of the water used.
We provide free shower heads to all of our customers in the city of Torrance, and they're 1.5 gallons. A typical shower head flows at 5 gallons.
Older model toilet will waste about 3.5 gallons per flush. Some of the newer ones will do 1.6, but the newest ultra high efficiency ones will save you will only use 1.28 gallons of water per flush.
The bathroom store showed us firsthand that less water doesn't mean less power. The City of Torrance is proactive in the water conservation effort. In addition to educating residents on ways to save on water, the city implemented water localization programs, allowing it to be less dependent on outside water distributors. For CitiCABLE 3, I'm Leslie Lopez.
Thank you, Leslie. For more information on Aquaflow Supply, go to their website at aquaflow.com. You can visit the bathroom store's website at TBSCA.com. And for tips on how to conserve water, go to bewaterwise.com.
If you're looking for something to do with the kids during the summer break, or if you're interested in taking a plane back in time, the city has just the place. Reporter CitiCABLE makes a safe landing at the Western Museum of Flight and has this report.
Aerospace travel has come a long way since its first flight in 1903. Lucky for us, part of this history is sitting in our backyard at the Western Museum of Flight.
I've always been a North American aviation fan, so it's kind of neat to see one sitting here.
Northrop built the N-3PB floater plane that Norway used in World War II. After discovering one 37 years later, Norway asked Northrop for help once again. That's when volunteers went to work restoring the plane.
At that point, they turned around, the Norwegian Air Force, and gave us back one of the Northrop F-5 supersonic jet fighters that had been built for them in 1972. And that's how we started as the Southern California Historical Aviation Foundation. We are the working arm of that foundation, the Western Museum of Flight.
The supersonic F-5A Freedom Fighter is just one of the many planes housed at the Western Museum of Flight.
What goes on here is a sense of inspiration and discovery and awareness.
Other notable planes include the BD-5 featured in the 007 movie Octopussy. The pint-sized plane gets kids excited about flying while learning some hands-on history.
I just wanted to take them out to have them see things for themselves. It's better than watching things on TV, actually looking at the plane and getting inside. That's fun for them.
Today I've learned so much about this Northrop Freedom Fighter, and this F-5A seems A-OK. This is CitiCABLE reporting for CitiCABLE 3.
Thanks, Christy. For more information on the Western Museum of Flight, go to their website at WMOF.com.